I have a test next week, but I'll learn tomorrow. I should go to the gym today, but I feel really exhausted. I've planned to start my day early, but I'm exceptionally tired today. Might give myself another hour of sleep. We've all heard these excuses from ourselves. We always look for an easy way out of doing the thing we said we would. We always procrastinate. It's a universal struggle, where the easy path often seems more appealing than the right one. The problem is not that we don't know what to do to change our lives for the better. Most of us know exactly what steps to take, but just the thought alone of doing what would be beneficial tires us. And the longer we think about it and don't actually do it, the more daunting it feels in our head to just get up and do the thing. Let's imagine you're wasting time on YouTube, watching videos that don't add much value. The thought pops up that you need to study for the test that's just around the corner. You consider it briefly, but the thought alone feels unbearable. You continue your video spree, but that nagging thought of studying persists, growing more and more insistent, and with it, a growing discomfort gnaws at you. Studying is the last thing you want to be doing right now. You keep watching, but with an undercurrent of guilt for not doing what you know you should. You hit pause on the video, starting to rationalize your inaction. You tell yourself, the test is a week away. I've been attentive in class, and my last grades were good. I'll do it tomorrow. I deserve a break. This makes you feel better, and you have successfully overcome the friction of doing what you should by giving yourself a really good excuse as to why you don't need to be studying right now. Days pass, and the test is now tomorrow. You find yourself again killing time, and the thought of studying is unbearable. The last thing you want to do right now is study, but the fact that you have your test tomorrow just leaves you with no choice, so you manage to get up and study. While you're doing it, you realize that studying isn't nearly as bad as you made it out to be, and you kind of wish you did it sooner, but because you didn't really have to do it before, you chose not to. But now that you have the test the next day, the pressing deadline creates a sense of urgency that helps you overcome your reluctance. That's great when you have some external pressure that leaves you with no other option. But have you ever noticed that whenever you want to pursue a personal goal, it's even harder to overcome the thought and actually do it? Because when it comes to personal goals, there is always a way out. You can always rationalize not doing the thing in your head. You can always come up with a really good excuse. How do we overcome this procrastination? The obvious thing you probably have in your mind right now would be to create a personal deadline. And while that might work sometimes, it's not the solution. Since these deadlines are self-imposed, there's a high likelihood of just extending them or ignoring them altogether. Therefore, while creating a personal deadline might help sometimes, it's not a reliable solution to overcome procrastination. A better idea would be to set a timer, not for when the task is due, but for when to begin it. This technique is often discussed in self-improvement circles and focuses on initiating action rather than meeting a final deadline. While significantly more effective than merely setting an end deadline, this is not the solution. To find out what's truly going to work, we need to understand how dopamine in our brains can affect us when we feel unmotivated and procrastinate. You see, the level of our motivation can be linked to the peaks and troughs of dopamine in our brains. So when we flood our brain with dopamine by using social media, for example, we leave ourselves feeling unmotivated after, and this will result in feeling less joy and motivation. Think of it this way: when we're stuck in a rut of procrastination, it's like being in a dopamine trough. The usual self-improvement tactics like doing chores around the house or paying bills to feel a bit productive don't really do much to lift us out of this state. They might give us a temporary sense of achievement, but they don't address a core issue. We often end up waiting until the deadline forces us into action, or we might not get around to doing what we need at all. To effectively snap out of this procrastination trough, this lack of motivation, a really powerful solution is to engage in activities that are actually more effortful or even uncomfortable than the task we're avoiding. It's about choosing an activity that feels particularly challenging or uncomfortable in the moment, but is at the same time quite short but intense. A really good example of such an activity would be doing something like taking a cold shower or going for a quick but very intense run. This can shift your state dramatically. A cold shower is not just about the shock of cold water, but the fact that it's a very challenging and uncomfortable experience for almost all people, and it's a very quick and easy thing you can do at any time, making it a common and very effective solution to feeling unmotivated. This discomfort surprisingly can propel us out of the dopamine trough much faster than if we just stayed idle or did less challenging tasks like doing chores. This method aligns with the idea of confronting our procrastination head on. It's about pushing through the initial resistance with something even more challenging, thus resetting our motivation levels. If you're dreading exercise, for example, starting with just a minute or two of intense activity can be way more effective than trying to ease yourself into it gently. The key is to find that activity which really sucks, but is safe and doable. By steepening the slope of our motivational trough, we can rebound to our baseline level of motivation more quickly. So the next time you find yourself procrastinating, don't just wait for it to pass or for a deadline to push you. Consider doing something challenging. This could be the jolt your brain needs to get back on track. And while all this might sound cliche, sometimes the best solution is to simply do the thing you have to now and stop looking for an easy way out. So turn your "I'll do it later" into "I'm doing it now." And remember that the only bad time to start is tomorrow.